Around 10,000 people are waiting for an organ transplant in the UK at any one time. Some will be lucky thanks to millions of people like you who signed up to the National Organ Donor Register. But it's just not enough. People die before suitable hearts, kidneys, lungs and other organs are found. So if you haven't signed up yet, for whatever reason, just watch this film and then give it some more thought. Are you ready to give the gift of life? 10,000 people are banking on you. Lifesavers was launched in December 2009 following the death of Emma Young. She was just 22 years old and she'd battled with cystic fibrosis from birth. Her dad, David, lives near Tadcaster. His life has been devastated by his daughter's death. Handling the loss has tested his inner strength to the limit. He always knew that Emma could die, but they were able to cling to the hope that a lung transplant would be found. But David, and although she never actually said it, probably Emma too, was realistic about the chances.
When Emma realised that she was told she needed a transplant, she then realised how ill she was, and that was very upsetting for her. And then a few days later it turns into a positivity because there becomes an answer. We've always been close. So close that you get all the aggression from the person that loves you as well. You're also the baddie, you know. And she would say to me, she would apologise that she's lashed out at me. But she says, I've got no one else that I can lash out at, you know. I know that you're strong enough, Dad. She did get a call once from the Freeman Hospital in Newcastle that there might be a possibility. She called the people in that needed to be a boyfriend and all the family. She got a bag was ready to go. You have to have your bag ready to go, and she was there, and then it was called off for some reason. It wasn't suitable, and that's the only time she got called. It never happened for Emma because there aren't enough transplants. She died.
Emma's story moved everyone at the press. Always a campaigning paper with a string of successful initiatives, it was decided to start Lifesavers in print and online.
The greatest tragedy of Emma's case last year was that she could easily have had an extra 5 years or more of life if only a suitable donor had been found. As a paper, we were hugely moved by this story, and a lot of our readers were as well. People often think that signing up for the organ donation register is something they can put off or do anytime. There's no reason not to do it now. It really could not be any easier.
The staff at York Hospital were eager to help, knowing that publicity and profile was the quickest way to increase the number of donors in North Yorkshire.
There's a few things that contribute to why we have so many people needing transplants. Medicine is better, so people are now surviving longer than they did, even a decade ago. And so the numbers of people who get to the stage of needing a transplant is ever growing. But on top of that, the organ donor register does keep a track of how many or what percentage of the UK population is registered, which is around 28% at the moment. And it's one of those things that people think about a lot but never get round to doing.
You must deal on a day-to-day basis with people who are either on the waiting list or whose loved ones have given their organs to somebody else who needed them.
Families who unfortunately find themselves in circumstances where a loved one needs a transplant, they know it's a waiting game, and they know that the possibility is that they might not receive a transplant in time. And it must be an awful situation to be in, never knowing when that call is going to come.
Well, it is, in our experience in critical care, a very difficult subject to breach when the patient is actually with us. I remember a night where a very young gentleman came to us and he had a massive brain hemorrhage. He came to the ICU, we breached the subject with the family. There have been some family issues, dynamics around that. So I breached the subject with them and said that there was very little medically that we could have done for this patient. And the family was quite, said, give me some time, a few minutes to discuss it with my former husband and we'll get back to you And really 5 minutes later, they came back to me and they said, go ahead, if you're telling me there is nothing else we can do for my son, then we get something out of it. At least his heart is going to beat in somebody else's chest. And he went ahead, he donated all his organs, and he saved a lot of people.
For adults, getting on the register takes away the burden of making that decision from your loved ones. But everyone who is in that special position of being a next of kin needs to think through the whole issue of organ donation. Bryony Aveyard was only 11 when she suffered a fatal brain hemorrhage. Her death was sudden, and her parents and brother were left stunned, unable to make sense of what happened. Her mother says that Bryony was just robbed of life. But as grief overwhelmed them, Kath and Dad Rob were able to make one decision that they'll never regret.
We're 20 months on now, so how you feel at the beginning, I mean, we still don't feel indifferent, we still miss her like mad and wish she was here with us. But it does help to know that there's 4 people, I don't know, 5, 6 people now out there who are living a life. And had Bryony needed that, then, you know, we hope someone out there would be able to do, you know, do that for us. And she just wasn't ill before it, so for us not to use something, to not, you know,
she was very, very healthy, very, very keen sports girl.
And she would have wanted to do it. I think that's the biggest thing, which was said all along right at the beginning. Bryony was very, very giving. I know people say things once people have gone, and she would have wanted to do this.
I would plead to everybody really to go on the register. You know, it is a life-saving gift.
The Lifesavers campaign has been supported by all areas of the medical profession. This ambulance belongs to local firm YourMed, a private company which provides a range of medical services, including first aid at events.
I mean, it saves so many lives, the scheme. It's you know, a really important thing, and people are dying every day because there isn't people to transplant organs from. I mean, hopefully by us supporting it, we're, you know, passing the message on, encouraging more people to go and sign up.
Their vehicles carry the special Lifesavers signs, which have been made by Signs Express in Osbaldwick.
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, we've had it on the ambulances in the cars, and people have been coming up and saying, you know, what's it about? It's been a real good chance for us to explain to people, you know, let them know about the scheme, tell them how important it is and how many lives it saves, and I think people have been leaving, you know, a lot more informed and hopefully going to sign up.
It gets frustrating, and it got to the point where this time last year I said to my wife, if this doesn't happen quickly, she won't get through this winter, because winters are hard for Emma. You know, the cold, it makes her chest tighten up. She only had 40% lung capacity anyway, and she really struggled in winter, and that was the case. You know, she didn't make it. Well, but we need donors. We need donors from everybody, because Emma could have had a perfect match from sort of 6'9" rugby player, and it wouldn't fit because she was so petite. So you need donors from a cross section. Basically, everyone that dies could be useful to somebody. When you're dead, unfortunately, we all die, but some people die prematurely in road crashes or whatever. People die, but so I used to understand people saying I don't want to do it, but now, when you're dead, you're dead. I mean, you've no choice in it, have you really? You're dead. That is the worst thing that's ever going to happen to you. Not someone taking your cornea or your heart or your lungs or, you know, things like that. You've already died. That is it. So you may as well be of use to someone.